that must have been a place to gather basket materials and other ceremonial issues.
The
So,
tules to make the houses, the junkus to make the baskets, a
yeah.
lot of those materials. And that's what I tell the kids too. That's one of the reasons why my ancestors didn't build their houses out of stone and adobe is because we have earthquakes. So our houses were built out of materials that would sustain themselves. They wouldn't fall down with
Yeah, yeah.
earthquakes.
More flexibility in
Yeah,
the
there was more
structure, right?
flexibility. So it takes living on the land for a long time and getting to know it, and you build, you know, what you could, you know, live in harmony with, you know. But when the Spanish came up here, they started building their structures out of adobe, and those things were the first things to fall down when we had the earthquakes.
Mm. So that must, so the changing of that area and the changing also of the wetlands must make it hard for contemporary indigenous or contemporary Tomba people to gather those materials or even practice.
Yeah, it is, and I could imagine it was for my ancestors, who
Yeah.
were so even those you know, post mission period, people relied on the land more than we give them credit for.
Yeah.
Even going up to my grandparents and great grandparents' generation, because again, unless you've lived here for a long time, people don't understand the land changes that have taken place just recently.
Mm.
Even when I was a kid, there was a lot more open space, and you know, I've lived all of my life in Orange County. There was a lot more farmland. There were orange groves. It was just open space. But even in those days, you were able to, you know, to live off the land. I know stories in my family where my mother tells me um, her family followed the migrating agriculture work,
Mm.
so they were traveling around. But sometimes they had to sustain themselves from, you know, the animals they caught, and
Mm.
you know, that's what they would survive on too. You know,
Yeah.
like even some of the, you know, the deer or the gophers, they would
Yeah, I never
either,
see it here.
yeah, but there was a lot more open space back then too. But that's one of the challenges that I personally have today as a person who works a lot with our plants is going out and harvesting. Because number one, we don't have access to the land. We don't have any land that we can call our own, that we
Mm.
have legal title to. So getting out there and trying to harvest plants is very challenging. I'm an educator, so when I utilize the plants, it's either for personal use or for class, and that's a struggle
Mm.
because, again, the limited access. But trying to sustain a community is something that's not even possible at this point until we have land that we can call our own, and then that whole term sustainability comes into place because we have actually access to the land. Right now, we can't even use the word sustainability because it doesn't apply to us. You can't use sustainability when you don't have access to the land.
Yeah.
So that's one of the contemporary challenges that we face in utilizing our traditional, our native plants.